Picket's charge take?
That's another great question.
From the Gettysburg Museum of History Studios, high atop Baltimore Street, in a maximum security facility complete with central air, it's AG Today.
Hello, folks. It's Patrick Gorman.
Hi, this is Jake Busey.
Hi, this is Bruce Boxleitner.
This is Tom Vera from A Gettysburg Christmas.
Hi, this is Bo Brinkman.
And you're listening to Addressing Gettysburg. I'm glad you're listening. Thank you.
There's a devil to pay.
Did you say Abe Lincoln?
Good night, everybody.
Bonfire. You're listening to
Addressing Gettysburg Today.
I love this podcast.
Oh, exactly.
Okay. All right. Okie dokie. Hello, everybody, and welcome to Addressing Gettysburg Today. Oh, it is an exciting time of the year. Doesn't come out every year. It only comes, well, it does come every year, but we don't care about it except for apparently the 25th and now the 30th anniversary of the movie Gettysburg. Have you seen it all the way through yet, Veronica?
Yeah.
You have, finally.
No, I've seen Gettysburg. Gods in General.
No, well, that's the tough one.
I've seen it like twice. But
Seen it. I own it. And you've seen it, of course,
Oh,
Debbie,
many
right? And
times.
Colby, you've seen it a bunch of times, I'm sure.
Yeah, I mean, listen, I have watched it actually quite a few times, but I don't know it the way some people around here know it.
Chapter and verse.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
I'm not a Cam when it comes to the movie. Although, if we just go on track record, Cam
Right.
didn't do very good on the.
There is no time.
No, Cameron does terrible. In fact, I think I still have that. Oh, I might have gotten rid of it. Darn it, I did. I used to have Cameron bombing because it was so good, but I had to make room for new sound effects, so I don't have it anymore. But yeah, no, it's we watched it. I made Cindy watch. I didn't make her. She wanted to watch it.
Can we get her to confirm that?
Yeah, can you confirm that, please, Cindy? Please. I let you watch it. Oh, wait, yeah, there you go. I didn't have the speakers on there. And so Cindy and I watched it. It took a couple of tries because she fell asleep. Well, we both fell asleep the first time. I woke up after intermission, and then we watched it again the other night from intermission on. And it's funny. I look at it with different. I haven't seen it in 2 years. I forgot to watch it on the anniversary this year, so I watched it I guess over a year ago. And it's funny. I was saying to Cindy, like, I can't get into the romance of it and the pageantry and all that stuff because it's like doing this all the time, and like all that just gets more. The more you learn, the more you get like you see how ugly it really is, and it's hard with the swelling music and the big thing. It's really hard to like take it seriously anymore. And it's a great movie. Don't get me wrong. I still love the movie, but from doing. Addressing Gettysburg and learning, the history, the actual history of everything, and getting into the medical stuff and the aftermath episodes and all those things. And you're just like, there is nothing beautiful about this. Like, it's ugly all around. So
The more you know, the less romantic it gets.
Yeah. And but it is interesting. I mean, it's interesting to see how they. The art of filmmaking, how they condense information and events and composite characters and things like that. Like there was after Pickett's charge is over and Longstreet runs out and he's kind of flipping out and everything, and then finally he's like, forget it, and he starts riding back, and Moxley Sorrell comes up and he's like, sir, I have the figure from Pickett's division. No, you don't. You don't have it that soon. But you need to get that in to get the point across to the movie that these guys got schwacked, as Eric used to say. And so, but it's still. But Cindy, did you like it, Sin? Yes, she did. She liked it and she said she's like
sport.
She's a sport for sure.
Sport.
But she also was like, why don't they show this in school more? She's like, she grew up in Pennsylvania. She's like, they didn't teach us about any of this stuff in school, and it is a shame because that's a pretty big event that happened in Pennsylvania. It's a worldwide event in Pennsylvania. Everybody knows it. People from all over the world come to see Gettysburg, and we don't teach it in the schools here. It's weird. It's weird.
The teachers just have too much to get into one year.
I guess.
When that year comes up, they never get in everything that they want to.
No. But you could. What was the thing that you said that they did take you to, Cindy, with a bunch of boulders that wasn't Little Round Top?
Something like it was Boulder Field, wherever that is.
Boulder Field. Do you know what that is? Have you ever heard of that?
Nothing important.
It's nothing important. It's so the kids could just run around and play in boulders and look at spiders. Yeah. So it's silly. But anyway, whatever. It's an exciting time. We had a lot of interviews come out, old interviews that had previously been only on Patreon. I put them all out for free. All this week we've had actor interviews and stuff. Dale Fetzer is a new interview that came out today, and people are like, that was really cool because he was the military choreographer. And I didn't know that they danced. And so we talked about that, and he was really cool. People really liked it. And so that came out today, and then I think I re-released the Tom Berenger one today, and then tomorrow something's coming out. I can't remember what it is.
I listened to the Brian Mallon one. I don't think I caught it on Patreon when it came out for some reason, but I did listen to it this week. I had it on in the background while I was doing some work at the home office. And I couldn't quite understand. I mean, he was born here in the States?
He's born in Michigan.
And then he wanted to go to Scotland. That was the idea? Ireland. Okay. So he adopted that accent.
She didn't even listen.
So that's
because he kind of like at some points he didn't have it.
Right.
Unless I wasn't listening that closely. I'm like, wait a minute.
I think it's like since I moved here, there's certain things that I've changed, and I don't know it until I go home and somebody's like, why are you saying it that way?
Yeah.
And so it's just like you don't get the full accent when you move somewhere.
Okay. Mm-hmm. But when you were like, okay, and on today's episode, Brian Mellon, and he was like, hello, whatever, and it
Top
was
of the
like
morning
really,
to ya.
I was like really like strong, and then as he was going, I'm like, kind of listening. I was working. I'm kind of like, wait a minute, he doesn't have an accent all of a sudden. Like, what is going on? Like, it was like real hard. Then...
So last time when he was here, I think it was October when he was here, I picked him up and drove him to the airport. And so we got to talking a lot, and he goes in and out of it, and I just took it as like, he's been there a long time, so you would pick up a bit of it, and but I kind of took it the way I explained it. It was like, I go home and sometimes there's certain words like O's. Sometimes I'll say my O's like O's.
You just did it a minute ago. It was hysterical, like before the show.
Really?
I was commenting to Cindy about
what
it.
Did I do?
Like you're from Baltimore.
What did I say?
I don't even remember the word, but I do remember the O specifically.
Yeah, so once in a while that'll happen, and I don't really notice it here, but nobody points it out to me. But then I go home, and somebody's like, "Why are you talking like an idiot?" And I'm like, "I'm not." Like, so yeah, I think that's what it is from Michigan. And it's funny because when he was out for the 25th anniversary, I think his sister came down and her friend. They all grew up together, and they speak like Americans. And he's like, "Yeah, they're always after me, Lucky Charms." And I'm like, wait, what's going on there? And then it wasn't until this last time with him I actually got to spend time and talk to him, and he explained it to me. So yeah, he was nice.
Yeah. He seemed very nice.
He is. Trent Walker was on too. A new Joseph Fuquay episode came out interview came out yesterday. People like that one.
I'll tell you the one. I remember the one verbatim that got me to sign up for Patreon back in the day.
What was that?
That was about John Gordon. No, not John. I'm sorry, the Custer episode.
Oh,
because you got John Gordon for free, but Custer you only put out like the
Custer was a Patreon, right?
And let's be fair, 3/4 of that you put out was just the freaking soundtrack to the movie. It wasn't anything to do with the talking. You just had everybody.
I do first 15 minutes. It doesn't matter what it is.
10 minutes of it are just freaking music.
It's a great
without
soundtrack.
Lyrics.
I know. No, it's great. It's a great soundtrack. So that's what got you to go on was the Custer one.
Yeah.
Okay.
I had to hear more. Also, I mean, he's just so good at telling that story too.
Jim Hessler. Yeah.
He's awesome.
Yeah, and that's the thing with Patreon is, as you know, of course, you have to have only the slightest connection to Gettysburg for it to be a Patreon episode. So we could talk about whatever we want, really, as long as we can tie it in. And there are a lot of things you can tie into Gettysburg very easily. Anyway, we did, Gettysburg ties to the Little Bighorn just so we could talk about the Little Bighorn, because that's what we really wanted to do.
Let's be honest.
Yeah, and it's still, a lot of patrons say it's their favorite episode.
Oh, it's great.
Yeah.
I think Jordan Gordon still. I mean, Jordan. I think Gordon still takes the cake, though.
A lot of people love that one too with Jim Hassler. That was an Ask a Guide about Jim Gordon.
It was
John Gordon.
we're all tripping over our J's, man. J's and G's.
Jim Gordon. I think he was a sportscaster in the New York area for like the New York Rangers or something. I don't know why that name. Someone would know better than I. Yeah. So anyway, that's that there. What now? Debbie tells me that you got a new car.
I did. Yep. So I have my own wheels again.
Good.
Which is nice.
What'd you get?
It's a 2021 Chevy Equinox.
Okay, very good.
So, nice, pretty blue color.
Pretty blue.
Yeah.
And you got your Pennsylvania license, all that squared away?
I registered to vote, and I'm like all sorts of Pennsylvania official now.
Good. How does it feel?
It feels nice. It was funny. When I went for the license, the lady took my Michigan driver's license, and she punched it so you could see that it's not a legal license anymore. And she goes, "Say goodbye to Michigan." And I'm like, yeah, I'm still kind of amazed that I managed to do this. So,
yeah, good for you. It's not easy to up and move to a new state.
No.
You know?
So
yeah.
But yeah, I'm excited. Like it's all sorts of official, and it makes me happy.
Good. Well, welcome to Pennsylvania.
Thank you.
And then what about you, Ronnie? What's new with you? How's Kath doing?
Kath is struggling. Kath is struggling. We were to the ENT. We got an appointment yesterday, actually, and
oh, good. But you got the appointment yesterday. Or you went yesterday.
Went yesterday,
okay.
But then she had another. So backstory here is a couple weeks ago, Mom just kind of started having nosebleeds, like just randomly. Like she wasn't exerting energy or anything. One woke her up at night. One she was sitting in the chair watching TV.
That's
one
scary.
day we were at Gettysburg Eddie's and we were over dinner, and I mean just gushing blood. I mean, I'm like,
really?
Yeah, like
wow,
freaked me out. Freaked the waitress out. Like we put, like we asked for some extra napkins.
Like when you say gushing, like
dripping. So this is what's been happening. This is what we explained to the ENT yesterday. She gets these bleeds, and it's like a bleed, and it's always out of her right nostril, and it like drops of blood. Like, I mean, like it's not just like you touch your tissue and you have a little bit of like reddish. It's like blood, like dropping blood. And then finally, like a big clot will come, and then it stops bleeding. Yeah. So like we were explaining this to him, and he's looking around. He's like, "Well, you know, it looks like you have a sinus infection, so I'm gonna give you an antibiotic," which he started yesterday. And he actually cauterized her nostril. She had another small bleed today, and I'm like, "What the hell is going on? This is scary." So anyway, we have a follow up. He didn't know about the nosebleed today, but we have a follow up in 10 days. So not this Tuesday, then the following Tuesday. So I guess it was 14 days, whatever. But yeah, a little bit scary.
That is scary. I only had one nosebleed out of the blue once a couple of years ago, and it kind of freaked me out too. But it was like allergy season, and I'd been sneezing and blowing my nose the whole time and everything. But that's so.
PCP, like, had told her to try Vaseline just to kind of like keep your inside of your nose moist, and she tried that. That wasn't working.
So what did they
did the cauterization, and he had another bleed today. It's a little disconcerting.
So he cauterized it.
That's what we were talking about. I actually called her on the way home because it was a long day today, and I just had enough time to change clothes and get here. But I was talking to her, and she told me about the nosebleed while I was at work, and I said, "Man, you know, it's scary." And she goes, "Yeah." She's like, "I didn't really ask him if he saw, like, he kind of said he saw, like, obviously irritation, like, inside both nostrils, and he cauterized, but he didn't really say if he was just generally cauterizing it or if he saw something like a polyp or something that he actually like targeted specifically. He just did it and like packed her nose, and she was supposed to take that out last night, which she did before bed. Everything was okay, and then she had she said it was small, thank God, today, but it was still just another unprovoked nosebleed. She said she was just like she said she was in the bathroom, and she like felt something, and she kind of like looked down, and she was dripping blood. Like,
oh my God!
Yeah.
Well, was it from the same spot?
It's always the right nostril.
Huh.
It's always the right nostril. The last couple of times before today's, she says some of it so bad it like goes down her throat, right? So it's like, so I can't. That's what we're like. The PCP didn't really give us a firm answer.
Well, you shouldn't take PCP.
Yeah, right, funny. And then the ENT guy didn't exactly quite say, like, you know, it's a little scary. I don't know what's going on, but yeah.
So, but the ENT, besides cauterizing it, he didn't say what it is or what he thinks it could be,
just
or
said, "Oh, you know, it looks like you have a sinus infection. So I'm going to give you the antibiotics." He prescribed like a spray just to keep it moist, and then basically said he'll be, you know, for like 14 days, 13 days, whatever it is, come back 2 Tuesdays from now, and He wants to schedule her for like a allergy test, but honestly, I think that's like a gimmick because he's just it's just something more that they can do. But I mean, I don't know. Nobody's like suggesting anything more invasive or any more testing or anything. He did. I apologize. He did order a blood test as well. So I don't. She has blood work. I forget when she said when has that scheduled. Beginning of next week or something. So, but yeah, I don't. Like nobody, I don't know if there's like such a thing as like doing an MRI to see if there's any kind of like if it's something. They're just assuming I think it's in the nostril, but it could. I mean, with
could
the
be
stuff
up in
going
the
down,
sinus. Yeah,
if it's going down like your throat and stuff.
I mean,
I'm worried it's more something different.
I watch House, and according to House, you can do an MRI for anything.
Yeah,
you just chuck them in the MRI machine. I mean, I hope all it is like dry skin, or not dry skin, but like dried sinuses or something like that, because that is scary.
It is scary.
And then and she didn't come out to dinner last, right?
When we've not been like doing too much. Because she didn't go to. She goes like she likes to socialize on Wednesday nights at church and stuff like that. They have a thing, so she didn't go last night and. Just all kinds of like I get it because it's totally it can literally happen anytime. Like it's not like she's doing weeding or she's exerting and or blowing her nose even like nothing like just literally just like I'm flashing back to Gettysburg Eddies. I mean she was like biting into like a whatever it was hamburger or some salad or something and all of a sudden I'm like holy shit like I mean it was like dripping. I'm like what the. And it was like
on her shirt or in her food or on the where
the first comes down her mouth.
Yeah.
So she hurried up and got a napkin and she was holding it, but like we were switching out the napkins like pretty fiercely. And the girl,
really?
I went and got like a plastic to-go bag just to like put the stuff in there so we could throw it out, obviously, but. She couldn't get it. It was kind of scary. I mean, it was like when you're in that, you don't know how much time is going by, but it seemed like a hell of a long time.
Sure.
It seems like it's 10 minutes or something.
You don't know
right?
what to
so
do,
like,
right? And you're thinking of all the people looking at you. And
well,
it's kind of embarrassing.
Thank God we were kind of like in the corner, but she was like embarrassed because I was like, why don't you go to the bathroom, like whatever. And she's like, what am I gonna do? Like walk back? Every time she kept like changing the napkin, it was like it was bloody. I mean, like
so like it was soaking the napkins.
Yes.
Holy shit! That's a lot of blood.
I know. That one was. She said that one was the worst, and that was whatever when we were gonna go last Friday, and it was whatever Tuesday or Wednesday of that
Friday.
week. We were gonna go Friday, so it was last week. She's had a couple since then, and the one today. So
well, I hope you, Kath, if you're watching, I hope that you figure out what the hell that is and get better soon, so you can come out more. Because last week when you guys didn't come out to dinner on Friday, we went to what's the name of the place, Bo? The Colby.
Thank you for that flattery, sir. It was called Eagle and Owl.
Eagle and Owl, which is out.
I can't believe we're spilling the beans on this place. Right now.
I know. Well, it's big enough.
Ski Liberty.
At Ski Liberty, yeah. Now, you knew about this?
I live out that way. I didn't even know it was there.
Well, you've only been there 20 minutes. Well, you know about
2
this,
years.
Veronica?
Well, you mentioned it. You mentioned it last Friday, and that was you said it was in Fairfield. That's the only restaurant I could think of that wasn't on the main dress. Like that would be the only.
Okay.
So, yeah.
See, you're ahead of me there. So I'm like, I've never heard of it. I've never been to Ski Liberty.
Like a steakhouse or something, right?
Yeah, they had steak, but I wouldn't call it a steakhouse. Would you call it a steakhouse?
I'd call it a ski lodge. Like
that's what it was like. It was like not only do you get out of town and avoid the crowds, but also. You feel like you're in like Aspen or Vail, Colorado, because it's like an old, like a ski slope or a ski lodge. Huh. And then there's a fire pit outside.
Looked awesome.
So we went outside afterwards and talked to some of the people that were there. And
anybody recognize Bo?
No. I was wondering like how to.
Oh, real quickly, have you been to the Adams County Historical Society this week, by any chance?
Not that. No, I'll be there Saturday.
So you need to go to the gift store before things. Sell out, but Bo has his own T-shirt.
Oh, I saw that. Yeah. He showed us pictures of it. Yeah, yeah. It's Flapjacks and Small Mountains T-shirt.
But it's him like posing.
Yeah, from Gods and Generals.
Okay,
that was the tintype they took or the glass plate they took during Gods and Generals.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, and his signature's on it.
Yeah.
So you can go and get a Bo Brinkman.
Yes, sir.
Dude, I had
signature
fun
T-shirt.
with them. That was a good time.
We had a fun time.
Great
yeah.
stories.
Oh, you should have been outside. I don't want to spill the beans on that story that he told outside, but I'll tell you later. Oh God, it was horrible. Horrible. It was a terrible. No, it was an awful story. I mean, he told it well, but it was an awful
something
story.
Bad happens in the story.
Oh my God, yes. Potentially, we don't really
another
know.
Meg Ryan story?
No. No.
But something bad happened in that one too.
Yeah. His cousin married her. That's what happened. And so anyway, yes. Now, all right. What do we have going on today, ladies and gentlemen? Well, our buddy Pete Carmichael is here. He is pacing back and forth in the green room like a hungry tiger at a zoo, and he wants to talk about some stuff. So we're going to let him come in a bit after the break and talk about those things. Some good news, actually, very good news for those of us who are interested in preservation and all that jazz. It is very, very good news. So why don't we do that? We'll take our first break. We'll come back, talk to Pete Carmichael, and see what. Oh my God! Sorry, Huevos.
We are too. We'll be right back.
Want the freshest cup of coffee in Gettysburg? Then visit Bantam Roasters, formerly 82 Cafe at 82 Steinway Avenue. They roast all of their coffee in-house, and they have a full coffee bar to keep you caffeinated during your trip. Visit them at www.raggededgerc.com for their menu and shipping options for all of their freshly roasted coffee. Use promo code Hancock for 10% off your order in the cafe.
Enjoy historical stories on the History Fix platform. Explore movies, short films, and documentaries. Addressing Gettysburg podcast fans receive an extra $5 off the first year's annual subscription. Sign up at historyfix.com and use promo code Gettysburg. Every subscription includes a 7-day risk-free trial. Escape into history with History Fix.
This episode of Addressing Gettysburg is brought to you in part by me, audiobook narrator Mike Scott. Narrator of Savis Beattie's Bloody Autumn, the Shenandoah Valley Campaign of 1864, and Unlike Anything That Ever Floated, the Monitor and Virginia and the Battle of Hampton Roads. If you are an author or publisher interested in having your titles produced as audiobooks, or even just in learning more about the process, give me a shout. You can find my contact info on my website, MikeScottVoice.com. That's MikeScottVoice.com.
The 1863 civilians of Gettysburg were reluctant witnesses to the Great Battle. Join Ken Rich, the man in the red shirt, for his historic town walking tours. You could book these tours by emailing ken@gettysburgtownhistory.com. That's ken@gettysburgtownhistory.com. And when you're in town, look for the guy in the red shirt.
And Civil War Trails. It's the world's largest open-air museum, and they offer over 1,300 sites across 6 states. Drive the Gettysburg campaign turn by turn, paddle to Frederick Douglass's birthplace, or hike to remote earthworks and artillery positions. Visit civilwartrails.org to request a brochure and explore their interactive map. Follow Civil War Trails and create some history of your own.
You're listening to the Addressing Gettysburg podcast with Matt Callery.
Seems like we haven't seen you in forever. Welcome back to Addressing Gettysburg Today. Here's Matt.
Nobody got time for that.
Hey everybody, how you doing? Sorry, we're chewing some Jelly Bellies.
We are.
It's so annoying. Let me mute the
Got a good
microphones.
smack going on right now.
My wife hates mouth voice.
Yeah, a lot of people do.
She will not now listen to this or watch this episode because of this.
I know.
You've turned off
A lot of people are tuning out right now. I can see the number dropping.
See the numbers going.
Let me say, while I have a mouthful of Jelly Bellies, Abnu Pewin. Abnu Pewin.
You're terrible. Oh my God.
I don't know. Piano Boy's like, I don't know, Piano Boy. It's a new name to me. Welcome, Piano Boy. He says, Abnu Pewin. Abnu Pewin. Say Abnu Pewin. All right.
That was from before.
I know, it's from earlier.
I know. Why did you start saying it like that?
Because every time...
Like a tongue twister or something?
No. Every time I hear that name, I always hear it as Abnu Pewin. Like somebody just saying it.
Perrin?
Abnu Pewin.
What does that even mean?
No, it's not. It's just...
Come on, Pete.
I'm slow today. Clearly.
When I hear the name Abner,
right,
for whatever reason, I think it should be pronounced with an inability to say the R. Abnu, Pewin.
This must
like a little
tie
kid does?
This must tie in some way to you liking popcorn flavored jelly beans.
I want to get a picture of him looking at you like you just sprouted an extra head. I don't even know.
By this.
How can you not, first of all, like popcorn flavored jelly beans, number one. Number two.
Jelly beans, they're not supposed to be popcorn flavored.
Well, but they do it so well, the Jelly Bellies.
well.
Yeah. And by the way, can I point out, for those of you viewing, that hair light on Pete's hair? Pete, you are well lit tonight. Well, I mean, this is nice. You're welcome. All right, anyway, so Pete's here. He said, Matt, I want to come on the show. I want to talk about the Harmon Farm. Not the Harmon the Harmon Farm.
Yeah.
You
all
just
right.
spoiled it.
Well, it's not actually. It's connected.
And by the way, you're wearing your. I'd like to say, let's show everybody. You're wearing your Gettysburg College. You're representing your place of employment there, Gettysburg College.
There you go.
And I just want you to know, if you can go back and tell everybody there that I will be trademarking their logo.
Right? Have you?
Should we get legal counsel involved in this?
Only after I file the paperwork, please.
Before we start, I just
away
want to say,
from
last night I was in Harpers Ferry at the Civil War Roundtable.
Nice.
A really nice organization there. First time I've ever spoken.
Yeah.
And so in the introduction,
Cam spoke there, I think. Right? Is that where you saw him?
True story.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, actually a true story.
Yeah, that's where he said this.
Avril his men elegant.
No, he didn't say that there, but he did actually do a presentation about the swamp dragons down there.
Oh,
Yeah.
Well, it's a nice group.
Anyway.
In the introduction, obviously they mentioned my affiliation with Gettysburg College. And then, I am not making this up, he said, many of you probably have heard Pete. He's on Addressing Gettysburg.
No way.
I swear to God.
You're
Didn't
kidding.
mention my book. Didn't mention anything else. Not that he needed to, but I thought I finally made it.
Is that true?
I swear to God, I'm not making it
Is
up.
there any record of this?
No, I have to take my word.
If anybody there,
I take your word.
Thank you. Thank you.
If anybody, you take his word. Abner Powen. Abner Powen takes your word.
I wonder if it's contagious, man. Let's just
We're
hop
trying to
around.
reach the adolescent age group right now. I see.
Exactly.
That's okay.
Well, if anybody was there, call in and let us know. 717-420-1978.
Absolutely.
Not that I don't believe you, but
Absolutely.
I want
That's
to,
good.
you know.
That's
I
good.
believe you, Pete.
Thank you.
Who was the person that introduced you?
Oh, God, I don't know.
Oh.
I don't know. The president of the Harpers Race Roundtable.
Wow. Okay.
Paul Arrett is a member there. Mike Chancey is a member
Is Paul
there.
Arrett the guy who does? He's got like one practical joke after another.
That's Mike Chancey. That's
Mike
Doc Chancey. Yeah.
Yes, Doc Chancey.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah.
He's nonstop.
I
He's
said to him finally, I
relentless.
said, do you do this with your patients? I said, because that would obviously, for me, it would kind of shake my confidence in him. And he said, yeah. And he said, nothing stops him.
That's his
Frank,
shtick, man,
He
yeah.
said to me, I was going to go get some oysters at this restaurant in Middleburg, Virginia. He said it wasn't open. And then he said, and I said, oh, shucks. That's the kind of jokes. That's the kind of jokes. Wordplay. The guy loves wordplay.
Yeah.
That's it. Yep, he's there.
Sorry, Pete.
was good. Sorry about that.
Just getting the top of your head there. Just want to get that nice head of hair.
Great. I was. Kobe doesn't go anymore to CrossFit, and this man hurt badly. This
Nice
woman
calling
sitting
him
next
out.
to me said, "She said,
Just
you're
a
the
sly
gray
under
fox." That's what she said about it. The gray fox.
The Gray Fox. That's her
I
name.
like that name,
You
though.
know what?
No?
I'd
way
take
too
it if
young
you didn't like
for
that?
Hell no. Absolutely.
When she called you the Gray Fox, you didn't go.
He stood as erect as I am now.
I can't believe you all did that. That's really funny.
As soon as you said it, I
Not
marked
you
it. I
all.
was like, I gotta.
I think everybody was thinking it.
Here's further proof, but I'm telling the truth about last night. The president also noted that my nickname should be, do you remember what you called me? You don't even remember now.
Pistol Pete.
Pistol Pete.
Yeah.
So there you go.
Wow.
Yeah.
He said, yeah. So there's
about that?
more evidence.
Okay. And did he introduce you as Pistol Pete?
He did. As part
Dr.
of the introduction.
Peter-
Of course,
Making
most
that
of the
part up?
people were over the age of 60, so they all knew who
Knew
Pistol
who
Pete
he was,
was.
yeah.
We didn't have anyone below 60 would have no idea, but everyone there did.
All right, let's get to business here now.
absolutely, because, yes,
great
you got
news.
stuff
We have
to
great
do.
news to share with
Yeah,
everybody. They've already heard it, of course. But the great news is what? Go ahead, Pete.
The great news is that the American Battlefield Trust stepped up and they were able to purchase the 13 acres that's part of a continuation of the Harmon Farm.
Yeah.
Unbelievable. I never thought that day would occur. The groundswell of activity in the community around the old country club. They went to the Cumberland Township a number of meetings, and I was at almost all of them, I believe, and it never, ever, ever looked good. And at every step of the way, politicians, local, state level, they all said to us, "You're going to lose. This is pointless." We got lucky, and we managed to get this thing thrown into litigation. And, of course, I don't know the thinking or reasoning of the developer. Trone is his name. But ultimately, he decided that he would sell, and thank God that he did. So that important parcel of land where Broken Bros Brigade was on July the 1st, it's right there for us all to enjoy. So it's unbelievable. Unbelievable.
Yeah, that is really unbelievable, because I was certain that was going to go to apartments.
Absolutely. And just imagine those apartments towering over the Harmon Farm. I mean, visually, it would have wrecked everything in that area. And for those people who, again, I get the point. They believe that we are hurting their tax base when preservationists come in and they don't have those apartments. Again, I get that point. But we are actually going to save people's lives, because if you can only imagine all those folks living in those new apartments, spilling out on Route 30, all those trucks barreling down, the entrance into the park, it was going to be utter mayhem.
Yeah.
And so I'm serious. I think that...
No, I agree. You'd have to put a third light there, because they can't get in and out of there at rush hour.
Yeah,
I mean, at least a blinking light, for the rest of the day, but you'd have to have an actual stoplight there. So you would go from McPherson's Ridge light down, and then just as you're getting down to the bottom and starting to go up Hers Ridge, you're going to have another light there, and then you get through that light, and at the top of Hers Ridge, there's a light. It's insane.
And it's especially insane that if, you want our visitors, that entrance into the park, you want it to be an evocative moment for them. And, of course, that would have wrecked all of that.
Yeah.
The man who owned the apartment complex, or owns the apartment complex, it's right across the street.
Right. There's already one there.
He actually came to the Cumberland Township meeting, and he said, "Look, I'm a developer. But so I want everybody to know those apartments, if they're built," he said, "my people won't be able to make a left-hand turn on Route 30 and get to work." He's exactly right.
Yeah.
So, it's a beautiful thing that happened, and I think everyone comes out a victor.
Yeah.
I mean, Trone's making a little bit of money, just a little.
Yeah.
Right? But the main thing is that land's preserved. The main thing is that that's land. We just don't need to think about it in terms of point of contact, right, where there was actual fighting. There probably wasn't a lot that occurred there, but there certainly were a lot of men who died there.
Oh, sure.
No doubt about that.
Of course.
Right? And so, again,
it's still historic.
Absolutely, it is.
Well, now the next fight is, of course, the cell phone tower on top of Big Round Top, and we need to make sure that never happens.
What?
I'm just starting a rumor. That's not true. That's not true at all.
I thought the next fight was over the high school logo.
Well, yeah, that's. But I am going to trademark the college logo.
Okay.
Have you guys gotten all your paperwork on that?
I have no idea. That's certainly above my pay grade.
It's very unique. An orange G. No one had ever could think of that one,
I love the school colors.
I'm not saying anything bad about
Do you
them.
like bullets as our mascot? I wish we had a little mini ball that would run around.
Yeah, what, you don't have a mascot?
I've never seen one. No, I don't believe so.
That would be great. Yeah, get a mini ball to run around.
A mini ball, but the problem is the shape of the mini ball could cause some confusion, don't you think? So that might not be a
suppository. Yeah. People would think it's a suppository.
Yeah. So maybe no mascot's probably a good idea.
Well, it could be like a generic officer looking thing and you get that fake horse that goes around your waist and then you just hop around. I'll make it and I'll be the first mascot for Gettysburg College.
How is that a bullet?
It's not. I'm just saying,
Okay, I'm just wondering.
change the name to the, Gettysburg Officers or something. I'm surprised they haven't. I don't want to start something here, but I'm surprised they haven't changed.
I have
from Bullet.
Yeah, given we remember the NBA team, Washington Bullets.
Yeah.
They changed to the Wizards. So I'm not again suggesting we should do that. I've never heard any talk about it at all.
I'm just surprised.
I am as well. I'm surprised that hasn't come up. So when is Lewis going to take your people to the Harmon Farm?
Well, now we're going to have to.
Absolutely.
I think that was one of the. I don't know if it's on his list or if it's something we talked about doing next year. The problem is parking.
Is it no, that's not true. You can park in the lot down by the day spa.
Yeah.
So we could go, we can get our nails done, get a little facial, go to the battlefield.
Sounds like a great day to me.
You bring up the Get Out of the Car tours. By the way, our final one this year is next week already, and it should be fun. We will be announcing Listener of the Year at the thing, and they will be getting a prize.
What's the prize?
I can't tell you. It's different every year. It's specific to the Listener of the Year. or no, not necessarily. This year it is.
Yes.
Last year it was specific. It was a beaver hat, like a coonskin hat, but it was beaver. And it was because that's what the big controversy was, the beaver dams.
Right.
So it was representative of the year.
The fix is in because you've already made the decision.
I know who it is.
Well, yeah. So where's the contest? The contest.
There's no contest.
There's no contest.
It's my way of recognizing someone who has been very supportive, or very supportive, and maybe had a rough time, or whatever. Like, it's just a way to.
Why aren't you giving awards to the historians you bring on the show? Man, listen, man.
Well, I do.
I'm never going to get a book prize ever. I will never get a book prize. You got to throw something my way.
Yeah, well, I know I've thrown plenty of things your way. People buy your book after hearing you on the show. Yeah.
Well, no, I'm like, I want an award. Like, it's something I could put on my wall at home.
All right, I will draw something up on a napkin.
You're going to get like his picture laminated or something. It's going to be like,
you're going to get me doing this.
Yeah, you know what you're asking for.
It's going to look like a third grader drew it.
Right, guest appreciation.
That's the one thing that I'll say to all roundtables. If any
give you an award,
they'll say no, please. What they love to do is they buy you these sort of mementos, and I won't mention the roundtable. They like to give. Now we're back to the bullet theme. A big wooden mini ball. Huge.
That's pretty neat.
Oh my God. Not really. If you think about it, it really isn't.
Why?
But I do have a little collection of oddities, many of which I've received from roundtables over the years, which again, they're sincere in expressing their appreciation. But a big wooden mini ball is.
I would love that.
Okay. Well, you know what? I might have more than one, so I will.
I'll take it. Well, is it engraved with your name on it?
We could just rip that off.
Okay, cool.
Just take that off.
I get a lot of cool things. I have on my bookshelf. It's in a box now, but I have a lot of things that people give me or send me and stuff. Challenge coins. I have a lot of challenge coins people give me. I love that.
Well, you're obviously going to get a lot more now that you've just admitted that you just put it in a box.
I know. Well, no, I put it in a box because I'm moving.
Oh, okay.
Then they'll go on my shelf again. But I like that stuff, and it's thoughtful. Even though sometimes you're like, well, I don't know what I'll do with this, but it's like, well, this meant something to this person, and they're giving it to me, and now it has a story, and it means something.
Well, apparently, General James T. Conway lives around here, and that's the man. If you're going to get a challenge coin, you get one from him, because that trumps all, at least when you're drinking with Marines.
The hell you say?
You don't know about the drinking?
No, I know that. I know that. Who? General who?
James Conway. He was
Jimmy Conway?
He was
from Goodfellas.
He was the commandant of the Marine Corps when I was in.
Oh, really?
He lives around here.
Yeah, he lives somewhere between here and Carlisle.
Huh.
Really?
All right. Another person on the show?
Yeah, well, I would love to talk to a general.
Good Lord.
I've only interviewed one
seen
general.
Guy one time in person. He came to my barracks to do an inspection before we deployed to. I can't remember if it was Iraq or Afghanistan. But I saw him from the second floor. I didn't even see him up close, and I remember thinking, "Holy crap, that dude has huge hands! Like they were freakish, man. They look like
must have hurt during inspection."
All right, turn around.
Oh boy! All right.
Anyway, before I part, we should just also mention that the trust now, they started this campaign in which they obviously need our help to get across the finish line here, and we all know, man, there's everything they do. It's
they're building a casino, right?
Of course, they're going to pay for it somehow. Like, what do you expect?
Yeah, exactly. No, but they're not doing that.
This is again how devoted they are. They had folks out in the neighborhoods near the country club yesterday getting signatures. So, I mean, they are deeply concerned about the community as well. I think that's an important point to stress, is that there are some individuals here that continue to insist that their work is taken away from the tax base in a way that's almost forced upon, for example, General Pickett's buffet. Those people wanted to sell. The Appalachia Brewing Company, it's not like the trust came in and said, you're going to turn this property over to us. Look, if you believe in the market, then you have to believe in the right to people to sell their property in a business if they want to do it. And so, and then on top of that, I just want to stress, they care deeply about this community, and it was a community effort. And it was democracy's always, most of the time, a pretty ugly thing. Mm-hmm. But once in a while, people get out of the gutter and they come together, and that's one of those moments. And Gettysburg College students were there, high school students. My daughters were there for all the meetings at the township, and so it was great. Great.
Do you know? Is there anything going on that's against that 7-story building they're proposing behind Rabbit Transit. Have you heard anything?
I knew that was going to happen, but I've not heard anything at all.
We should get the preservation people trying to get that property because that's where Robert E. Lee died. A lot of people don't know that. And so maybe we want to get on that, you know.
We'll let you lead the charge on that.
I will. I will. Save Lee's death spot. It's right in the parking lot.
I always heard that's where he fathered Jenny Wade's baby.
Exactly.
Okay.
Well, no. That's when she came to visit the Army down in Virginia.
Was he a little playboy, dude?
Oh, Lee and Jenny Wade had a thing going on. You'll have to ask. We'll have to ask Tim Smith to tell you the story next time next time he's here because he knows all the ins and outs.
So, Pete, what's the long-term plan? I mean, obviously, we can't avoid the fact that there's already tennis courts there and a pool
as well, and another building. Yeah.
So what?
Again, I'm unclear about that. Someone did tell me that there's the attempt or to strip the land of those buildings and of the pool and of the court. But I don't know if that's the case.
Well, I guess the next thing is we have to get funding to tear all that apart.
Yeah, and
right?
to pay for the land as well.
I say we just get a bunch of volunteers with sledgehammers and let's go in there on a Saturday.
So,
and
wait. I hate to be like, this is very exciting, right?
Right, absolutely.
But it doesn't sound like it's a done deal if we're still raising the funds. Like, do they definitely purchased it, or they're trying to purchase it?
No, I think they purchased it, but I'm saying the funds to then demolish.
No, I understand, but I thought they were even saying, like, some folks on here are saying that I think actually Mike Lentz said they're campaigning, they need the funds by November 20th.
They do need the funds, but I think everything is in place, and they're going to hit that number because they are so good at fundraising, and they have some donors that, of course, are going to put up substantial amounts, but they need the rank and file to pitch in here as well. So we'll be. Yeah, we would absolutely get across that finish line. Now, again, about those buildings and what they intend to do with it. I'm not sure.
Now, did you say that you had a letter to the editor?
I did.
And they didn't publish it?
So, yeah, I'm just going to just talk about that.
Go
Maybe
ahead.
I shouldn't. So, but I will. I sent the letter off. It was late in the evening. I got a rejection in 15 minutes, in which the
Wait, they actually
said,
tell you they're rejecting your letter?
Yes. They said because it was a done deal, that basically what I was writing about, it's old news, which of course makes to me utterly no sense whatsoever, because we know that letters to the editor all the time comment on a wide variety of things that have happened, like legislation passed, people who approve of it. And so it was basically like, you guys won, this makes no sense. And they did, the Gettysburg Times ran a very lengthy article about the sale or the purchase of this land. So they did have something there, but my editorial, they rejected immediately. And obviously I did not try to sort of weigh in and, hey, look, I'm a Savoy historian, I teach at the college. I didn't put any of that in the letter or my email.
Did you say Dr. Pete Carmichael?
You've got to call me Dr. Pete Carmichael. I can't understand why they'd be offended when I'm a pompous ass. Right? But I will say that the Hanover Times did publish the letter. So
the Hanover Times did.
But again,
the Evening Sun.
The Evening Sun, excuse me. Yes, that's right. So I think it's just odd, again, that it was rejected. Again, certainly the editor has that prerogative to do so. I just worry sometimes that within the community that some people don't get the understanding that this preservation effort is not an attempt to steal the tax base away or undermine the tax base of this community.
No.
The Battlefield Trust is deeply concerned about the local residents here, and we all know what. We know the more tourists that come to this place and come back to this place who believe it's evocative, who believe it's preserved, it's what? It's good for business. There's just no way around that. It's good for business.
And, maybe this is a good lesson for people to go and lean on their county commissioners or township, whatever the hell you call them, or borough council people, and say, stop misusing the money that we do give you. If you don't want these things taken off the tax rolls, then that means you got to tighten the belt. You got to be more responsible.
Yeah, I don't know how much power they have when it comes to raising, resources for their local township or for the town. I don't know how any of that works.
I'm pretty sure they can cut some salaries.
Probably could.
Yeah, they're servants. They're not lords.
Here's the great takeaway from this is that the township board, it's kind of a thankless job. I really came to admire because they had to withstand a lot of very angry people. Mm-hmm. But the great takeaway is this. the property in Adams County every few years is zoned in particular ways. When that zoning occurs, which is not widely publicized, it's mentioned in the newspaper, but if you're not paying attention and then that zoning occurs, then the land's designated for certain uses. And so the Cumberland Township Board really had its hands tied. And that's why it's a miracle that we're able to get some of those members to vote in a way that they didn't really have any legal grounding for, right? The deal was done. When it comes up, you look at the newspaper, that's when the people in this area have to jump in and say, oh, wait a minute, you're designating this for residential? I don't think so. There's not enough water here. Or, oh, that's okay. Go ahead and do it. That's the critical moment. The township board, this has nothing to do with how much resources or money that's available to them. It has everything to do with that designation. And so they were handcuffed by that, but enough members of that board said no. That's what threw it in litigation. And that's ultimately why we got this little window, and thanks to the trust, we're there now.
Yeah. They really do good work. What?
I think it's important that you're stressing the points that you're making, because the everyday citizen around here, if you just look at, for example, on Facebook, the Gettysburg Times page, right, by far and away, the average is maybe like 5 or 6 comments on a different article.
Right.
From 6 days ago, when they announced the American Battlefield Trust has agreed to purchase the acreage, 285 comments. And you can imagine not all of them are favorable.
Right.
A lot of them are great. Let's, preserve every land where any soldier pissed kind of stuff, right? Like that kind of stuff.
Tired line.
Base,
tired
like,
line.
Right.
Tired
We need
line.
more housing. All this. So there's a lot of, but not that I know everybody, certainly, but I don't see any like names that we would recognize. I think they're just common people that
folk.
Probably don't even come to the battlefield.
The little
probably
people.
No, if you know what I'm saying. It's not
yeah.
uncommon to have locals, what restaurant were we at just the other day, and someone was asking about the battlefield, and the girl's like, oh, I really don't know. Like, I've lived here my whole life, and I don't really know. Like, the Park Service, da-da-da-da. And that's not uncommon.
No,
like,
it isn't. You raise a great point there. Folks listening at home, you may not believe this, but there are people who have lived their entire lives, and the battlefield is just something they get through. They drive through to get somewhere else, and they couldn't care less. They couldn't tell you where Devil's Den is. Well, they probably lost their virginity at Devil's Den, so they could tell you that, but they couldn't tell you McPherson's barn and the Kadori barn. They couldn't tell you the difference between any one of them. And I know it's like hard to believe, because I know when I didn't live here, I couldn't believe that notion. Why would you not care about this? You have a beautiful place to live because of all this preservation. You get to look at these beautiful views, and you don't have people on top of you.
That's pretty common. You can go to,
anywhere, yeah.
Absolutely. Where there's something, I live close to the Indy 500. I can't tell you how many people are like, I've never bothered. I don't really care. I don't see it. But here's the thing that we should always remind ourselves of. That's access to this historical site at the elementary school level, junior high. I don't know how much money and resources, again, they have to bring kids here, but I'll tell you this. Civil War Institute with the Center for Public Service at Gettysburg College, we got together and we said, we got a large Latino community out there. We need to get them to the battlefield park. This is prior to this current administration, the Gettysburg Foundation, when I said, listen, can you give these people free access to the museum? Because we all know, man, these are migrant workers for the most part. And this is prior to Wayne, all right? Prior to Wayne. Guy said to me, no, we give you $1 off. That's it. I said, what? These are Adams County residents who are, again, they're working class, poor people.
No.
They need to know.
That poor.
Well, but they need access.
They're not going to spend $60 for a family of 4
No, hell no.
museum that they probably really don't care about. So
that was sold to us as something that was going to be free, by the way.
Well, the foundation has to pay for things, but I think there's a hard fact in the museum world, and it's this. People who continue to go to museums as adults, they do so because they went with their families when they were young. Yeah. And we need, within Adams County, to figure out a way to do that.
I agree. There should be, I don't know. Maybe.
Listen,
I have an idea.
The park is still free, of course, so people can still go to the park. But again, if your language skills are limited and you don't speak English, that makes it somewhat of a challenge.
Mm-hmm. Even if you do speak English. Let's be honest.
Absolutely. All right.
There was something else that I wanted to ask you before we let you go, Pete, and I forgot what it was now. Oh, are you going to come? So next year. So, I didn't want to ask you. I want to talk about.
Yes.
So we had you out with Lewis on our tour in September.
Yeah.
And it was a lot of fun. Did you like it?
I loved it. It was absolutely.
There's a great picture of the two of you pointing.
Yes. We're synchronized tour guides.
Can we think of another motif for pictures? Not motif. What's the word I'm looking for? Another pose for pictures. Everybody does the pointing.
They do.
Okay, we get it.
Yeah.
Okay, people point.
Yeah.
What's another thing that guides and rangers do that we can then co-opt, like the point?
I don't know. Maybe they're like fingers on their chins.
Oh, yeah.
Thinking reflective.
I don't know about
guides.
guides, but I know I've seen some Army Rangers flip the bird. When they were in battle.
Colby, we're not in battle. We're on a tour. Okay, Colby,
there's kids.
What are you smoking back there, Colby?
Actually, nothing. But I was just giving you the Ranger experience I had. It's the only one I got.
Not that kind of Ranger.
I'll say it was great. I mean, what a turnout! It was also a beautiful day, but. Again,
it was a gorgeous day.
I don't want to pump up your ego here, but
go ahead.
It's what a credit to what you've created.
Amen.
Right? Absolutely.
No, you know what? I'm starting to get comfortable taking credit.
You are.
Yeah.
This is what this other guy said. I'm seriously, the guy at Harper's Ferry was commenting on the fact he's actually picking up a lot of knowledge, and I said, we fight about this. You're always like, I'm not a historian. I'm not a historian. And you just annoy me when you say that, but you are.
Good.
But
I'm not.
But I would say, for your listeners out there that haven't been to one of those events with Lewis.
Yeah.
It's a good time, and it was a lot of fun.
It is a good time. We have a lot of fun.
To the Farnsworth house, I enjoyed that a lot.
Yeah, it was nice. Yeah. And, people, everybody that comes out is really nice. Everybody's happy to be out there, friendly people. They bring their dog. I think we had the most dogs on this trip than we've had before. I might be wrong on that one, but it seemed like we had a lot. I forgot. I counted them, but I can't remember the number.
Yeah.
And it's just nice.
What are you doing for Christmas this year? The Christmas party.
What day is it?
December 9th. I already told you this.
I know, but my in-laws are taking me on.
Bring them in.
No, they're taking me to Europe. I'm going to do a little...
let's make a pit stop.
We're going to the Danube.
When are you going to Europe?
It's right around that time. It's like one of those Christmas marts kind of thing, what I'm talking about.
But specifically on the 9th, you'll be in
it's like a week, and I think it's very close. I might be able to slip in before we depart.
Hopefully
it's going to be close.
No,
absolutely.
That it was going to be on the 14th, and you messed up with the 9th. You can change the date on them real quick to see if the story sticks.
No, I would love to come back. The people were super nice. I really
and they like you. They certainly do. And then sometime in 2024, we're going to do one of our. We're going to do that live show that we were going to do in September with you.
Yeah.
I don't know when and where yet, but I'm going to do 4 of them next year. So you're going to be one of them.
I would love to do that.
And all right, now here's another question. When did you move here?
I moved here summer of 2010.
Okay, so you missed all of the hubbub over the casino, right?
No, it was still a little bit. Yeah, it was still there.
Oh, summer of 2010. You're right. I think that was the last.
It was still here. Yeah.
What did you think about that idea?
Well, just out of principle, I mean, I think that whenever any community starts to rely on a casino for revenue, it's an act of desperation. So that's one is a never good sign. And I think the other thing is it would have hurt businesses in Gettysburg because you're going to get your food and your drink and everything else down there. Now, 3, we wouldn't have realized this at the time, but anyone can do online gambling now. I gamble every year with my kids on the Kentucky Derby.
I gamble every time I order out.
So yeah, I think it's all. I am thankful, relieved that it's not here. I don't think it would have enriched our community in every way.
So your reasoning against it wasn't so much about the dishonoring of the soldiers. It was more about like the practical living people today.
Right. I mean, it was my understanding where the location was so far south of town. I mean, obviously, lead elements of the First Corps in the ballpark there, but. Again, I think it's a bad move for any community to have to go in that direction. And again, I think it would have hurt the town. I think it would have hurt town businessmen a great deal.
So, okay, on that token there, a lot of people in the comments here are suggesting Swingers clubs. We need swingers clubs. What would you be against that?
Are you really trying to get someone in the history of having tenure to get fired?
What about all right, well, just thumbs up and thumbs down.
I'm going to be. This is a serious idea, and someone's going to take it, and they're going to make a lot of money off what's a great idea.
Go ahead.
What we need more than ever.
I'm going to mute you so only I can hear it. Right?
Okay, here it is.
Because I don't want to share this with people. Go ahead.
We need a water park. Slides. It needs to be indoor because this is the problem. We have families who come here with little juniors, and they like, what are we going to do? Oh,
I agree with you.
Here. You get something over at the Marriott.
Do you remember, this might have been right before you moved here, but somewhere around that time, because I moved away in 2010.
Okay.
I saw in the papers, prominent historian moves to Gettysburg, and I was like, get me the hell out of here. This pompous ass with the scarves. I've seen him on TV. Get me away. And I go, no. So somebody wanted to do a water park, and if anybody watching remembers more details about this, please put it in the comments. If I'm not mistaken, they proposed to put a water park where Boyd's Bear is.
Oh.
And then the NIMBYs.
Isn't that where the casino was supposed to go?
No, that was going to be the Eisenhower. The second time it was going to be the Eisenhower. The first time it was going to be out at Gateway or across from Gateway, where the Royal Farms is going.
That makes sense.
That makes sense.
Gateway's just in the middle of nowhere. So okay.
Exactly, but that was too close to hallowed ground. And anyway, not the point. Point is that the water park, right? So the NIMBYs all get together and they say, there's not enough water for a water park. And we don't want a water park because there's not enough water. And who's going to come here to the water park? People from Baltimore. You know what I'm saying.
Well, absolutely.
You know what I'm saying about the NIMBYs. You know where I'm going about that. Yeah. And so they didn't have the water park.
Well, there's still plenty of land over there to do that.
I know.
The Wyndham, near the Marriott, but I can only imagine just the insurance adjusters, what that would cost. Yeah. Right? I mean, the amount of capital that it would take. But
you're barking up the right tree, though, Pete. Like, there needs to be something.
And I'm talking about indoor as well, right? So you get it during the winter as well.
Yeah.
I mean, it would
like
boost.
Great Wolf Lodge. Yeah,
it would be great. Yeah. It would be great for boosting attendance in the park. It would bring people downtown. That's what
if they did? What if they promised to do, like, instead of taking water from the ground, they just collect it? Like, the roof is a giant bowl, and it just collects rainwater, and then that's what they use, and they just recycle it. And I mean, we don't get enough rain for that, but
that would be the challenge.
It would be the challenge. Are you going to try to come out to next week's tour? You don't have to host it. You could just be on the tour with us.
I'm not sure I'm going to be in town.
Oh, where are you going? Asia? It's going to Asia in October, Africa in November, Europe in December.
A trip for everything you want to do, man. I think he's telling you something.
No, I think, though, next year, though, I do, and I think Lewis would be fine with this because we kind of talked about it at lunch, is having you come on more of them.
Yeah,
I think people would love it. I mean, I'm sure you're a busy guy. You can't do all of them with Lewis, but some of them.
I really like working with Lewis. I just sent him some stuff for the next tour since I can't be there. But, yeah, I'd do anything to be able to contribute. I enjoy it. He's mocking me.
No, I'm not. I'm laughing at her laughing. I don't know what she's laughing at, though.
You can't be there.
Do you?
It makes two of us.
You're not going to be there either. Whatever. This is Veronica's last show with us. Did you know that?
Seriously?
Yeah.
Why? What's happening?
I took a new job.
No.
Be back to a full-time adult.
Wait, so are you moving
real
from the
job.
area?
No. I just right now I only work like a couple of days a week at the courthouse, so I can work from home and that kind of stuff. And I'm normally done early, but I took a job at the DA's office in Franklin County. So
congratulations! That's cool.
Thank you. Yeah, I'm excited about it. I'll miss you guys.
Well, no, what's going to happen? I'm going to tell you what's going to happen, man. His ratings are going to plummet without you. He's going to be coming back begging you, and he'll have to change the time of the show. What if he did the show at 8 o'clock at night? Could you make it at 8 o'clock at night?
She's got to get up and work the next day. What about 7 o'clock? If I change it to 7 o'clock, would you do it at 7? I thought about that, but I could tell she doesn't want to do it.
You know Bethany from
She's filling in. She's taking over.
I'm just keeping it warm. Yeah.
Yeah.
What about the show? That's what she said.
We're still going to do that.
Yeah. Are you going to come on that?
I would love to be on that show.
Most
I've got
of
some
our guests
stuff.
have been Sundays, the recordings.
Okay.
So yeah.
I would love to do that sometime.
Okay.
Yeah, seriously, that'd be fun.
And somebody told me they want to come on to talk about something, and now I forgot what it was. Damn it! I should have texted you as soon as I talk to that person. Damn it. It'll come to me. But anyway, yeah, so you come on.
So, hey, last thing, you guys are all invited. All your listeners are invited. November 19th at the Majestic. Gary Gallagher, Jen Murray, Lorian Foote, discussing the state of military history in the field. And it's interesting to note, probably not surprising to people, that within the academic world, there's a little bit of disdain for military history. So we want to talk about why military history is important, which should be obvious to many people. We'll talk about that. We'll talk about new directions in the field. But also, why does the Academy continue to sort of look the other way? And that's being nice, actually turn their nose up against traditional military history. I'll even go so far to tell you that many Civil War historians, trained as Civil War historians, when it comes to teaching the Civil War, they do the coming of the war, breeze through the war years, and then get to Reconstruction. Look, we should do it all. It drives me nuts.
I had a class that covered World War II. World War II. And all they did was, before the war, economics, home front, breezed through the war. They didn't talk about a single, but not even D-Day. They didn't talk about one battle. And then they got to the end of the war and did the after war economy. Yeah. And he got to the end, and I asked my professor, I was like, how can you teach this whole class and you didn't talk about one battle, one casualty? You didn't even talk about Pearl Harbor, really. You mentioned Pearl Harbor like as a footnote, but you didn't say a single thing about what happened. And he said, well, this is just a class we focus more on the socioeconomic side of the war.
That's crazy. Well, you have to ask a professor like that why that's morally irresponsible, because my students, when I ask them, we've been engaged in 2 wars in Afghanistan and in Iraq. Now, what are the military means that we're using to achieve our political goals there? I said, do you know what our political goals there? No. I said, do you know the military means we're employing? No. And I look at them and I say, and guess what? I don't know it very well either, but I do know this, right? You got to still study it. And when you study the Civil War, my students, when we focus on military events, when we focus on campaigns, they get that it's democracies at war. And those democracies at war, they are absolutely understand the political objectives of that conflict, and militarily, how are we going to get there? And so if you don't study the battles, you don't study the generals, right? I think it then keeps our young people from looking at the world around them, especially what's going on right now in Israel. Right? You better be thinking about their political objectives. They want to eliminate Hamas. How are you going to do that militarily, right? And what are the potential consequences of that?
It's going to be messy.
But you know what? You'll ask the right questions about what's going on there. If you do what that professor didn't do to you, right? Don't skip over the war years. That's just an absolute mistake. Irresponsible.
It is irresponsible.
It also teaches the lesson that, listen, in understanding the war history, the actual military history, and what are the political objectives for the military to try to go after, you also understand what the populace is willing to pay.
Absolutely.
As far as cost and life, because that is really that's the only way America has ever lost a war, is because the populace wasn't willing to pay the cost of it.
Absolutely.
So it's important to understand all those aspects, and you're right, you can't learn any of that if you don't know the story of the war.
Beauregard 77 in the chat says, we hide death like it does not exist. Yes. And it's true, we do. Not just gruesome military death, but like just, grandma dies, you don't even spend any time with her, whisk her away to the morgue or to the mortician, and they doll her up, and you set up the whole thing, and you go and you see her in the way. They're not in your living room anymore, where everybody comes to you.
That's right.
We're so separated from real life.
Right.
And it's honestly, that's starting to scare me, how separated we are, because it sounds like things are going to get ugly pretty soon, and where people are going to flip out when their cell phones don't work. Veronica can't keep her eyes off of hers.
I'm monitoring your comments for you.
Oh, thank you.
Veronica, give him that
Well,
look.
you 3 go on tirades over here.
Hey, man. Thanks for having me on the show.
Pete Carmichael, thank you very much for coming in.
I appreciate it. And,
anytime you want. And I hope that you don't go to Europe during our party and you can come, because last year you gave me a hard time.
You didn't invite me.
Exactly. And you gave me a hard time for it. I invited you the night before, and you're like, well, it would have been nice to know ahead of time. I'm in Saipan. What?
He felt like Lincoln. Like last minute thought, afterthought.
Would you come and just make a few appropriate remarks?
Yeah, but what does it say that kind of hold you have on me? Like, you don't ask me, and I'm begging for an invitation? That's sad, isn't
it's pretty sad.
Yeah.
I'm needy. Too
needy.
A little bit, yeah.
Well, no, we have fun, Pete. You and
Absolutely.
I have fun joking around. All right. Well, thank you very much for coming in and talking about everything that's on your mind. I think that's fun. You come in once in a while, just whatever's on Pete's mind, and just vent.
I don't need a therapist now.
No, you got me. You got Dr. Matt. The doctor is in.
Nice knowing you, Pete. I knew him when. Before Matt got a hold of him.
Yeah, right. Yeah. All right, well, we're going to remind everybody of this.
He stood as erect as I am now.
And then we're going to take a break. We'll take a break and be right back with more stuff. And that's it. We'll be right back.
Been craving a Hot Pocket or a bag of popcorn? Now's the time to go and get it. You got 5 to 8 minutes, so don't be late. We'll be right back.
Seminary Ridge Museum and Education Center, Gettysburg's premier museum, is housed in the historic Lutheran Seminary building constructed in 1832, a witness to the first day of battle. The museum's 3 floors of exhibits connect visitors to the dilemmas that led to the Civil War, provide a powerful and personal view of the battle's first day, and explore one of the battlefield's largest hospitals. No visit to Seminary Ridge Museum and Education Center is complete without a guided tour of the building's famous cupola, where on the eve of battle, officers and civilians saw thousands of Confederate soldiers' campfires burning to the west, and Brigadier General John Buford watched for vital federal reinforcements as fighting erupted on the morning of July 1st. Today, you can stand where Buford stood and discover how this view helped chart the course of the Battle of Gettysburg. Your trip to Gettysburg is not complete without a serious visit to Seminary Ridge Museum and Education Center, Gettysburg's premier museum. Purchase tickets online at seminaryridgemuseum.org or call 717-339-1300.
To get tickets or a cupola tour, listeners may call or walk in and mention addressing Gettysburg, or by ordering online using the promo code AG1863 for 20% off.
Seminary Ridge Museum and Education Center. It began here.
There's a devil to pay.
If you're a lover of history, then go to trhistorical.com. There you'll find apparel, drinkware, decor, and more, featuring a wide range of interests from the ancient world to the Cold War. Looking to make an impression with the perfect gift? Well, TR Historical now offers gift cards and a vintage wrapping service for a truly unique presentation. And our listeners will receive 10% off plus free shipping in the U.S. when you use promo code GBERG1863. So go to trhistorical.com, TR Historical, for the love of history.
Think outside the bus and let family-owned Gettysburg Tours take you on a cycling journey across the picturesque and historic Gettysburg battlefield. There's no better way than by bicycle to gain a feel for the terrain of the battlefield. Slow enough to see it all, yet fast enough to do it all. Follow the route of Union troops entering the fray as you ride to the site of the first shots of this epic 3-day battle. Feel the drama as you put yourself in the position of a Confederate soldier just before he steps off to make Pickett's charge. Take a stand with the heroic Colonel Chamberlain on the slopes of Little Round Top, just before you view the fields of honor beneath you from its summit. All of our guides are officially licensed by the National Park Service. So don't get a sore neck trying to see out of your car, and saddle up with Gettysburg Tours for a 360-degree view of America's most important piece of real estate. Gettysburg Tours. Think outside the bus. Go to gettysburg.com or call 717-752-7752 to book a battlefield experience you will never forget.
You've heard us promote various ways that you can help us keep the show going, but one way we haven't pushed too much is our sutlery at addressinggettysburg.com/shop. That's a shame because we have designs over there by talented artists like Ty DeWitt of 1863 Designs and Mike Stretch of the Heritage Depot. So now we're promoting it. Buying shirts, hoodies, mugs, and other items from our sutlery not only helps us keep the lights on, but it also helps guys like Ty and Mike, and it helps spread the word about the show every time you wear an item or you sip from your mug. So head over to addressinggettysburg.com/shop and grab some merch. It's the perfect Christmas gift for the Gettys nerd in your family. That's addressinggettysburg.com/shop.
Have
you noticed our revamped website at addressinggettysburg.com? Well, that's the fine work of a man named Mike Stretch, and he also redid our logo for us. Both of them I originally designed, and both of them were originally horrible, but now they're nice, and that's all thanks to Mike. Mike has an awesome t-shirt company called Heritage Depot. There you'll find great designs based on Gettysburg and the Civil War with t-shirts and other types of merchandise. So go to heritage-depot.com and spruce up your Gettys Nerd wardrobe. That's heritage-depot.com. Our favorite bookstore in Gettysburg is For the Historian, located at 42 York Street. It's because they have the best selection of Civil War books in Gettysburg, both new and used. And online, they have even more to choose from. And if the Civil War isn't your thing, that's not a problem. This is For the Historian, after all. They cover history from the ancient world to the 21st century with a strong selection of World War II and American Revolution books. It's astounding how many thousands of titles from Osprey, Savas Beatty, UNC Press, and more they have in their store. And that's because, well, they have a warehouse too. And that's where they keep all the books that are available online at forthehistorian.com. And folks, if you go to forthehistorian.com now and order books until you're blue in the face, be sure you mention that you heard about them on Addressing Gettysburg in the Note to Seller box, and they will refund your shipping costs. And if you prefer to stop by when you're in town, well, you could do that too. Just mention Addressing Gettysburg at checkout, and they'll take 20% off the retail price of your item. So go to forthehistorian.com or stop by 42 York Street, or you can call them at 717-685-5207. That's forthehistorian.com or 717-685-5207.
You're listening to Addressing Gettysburg.
Send an email to info@addressinggettysburg.com. Be sure to include the reason why you think you'd make a good guest when you write us.
I'm really jealous. Home again, hurrah, hurrah. Give them a hearty welcome then, hurrah, hurrah. Yeah, we were just talking about how we're jealous of Pete Carmichael's hair. Well, ladies and gentlemen, you knew this last week. It's you had fair warning, and today is Ronnie Ronstadt's final show. And I'm clapping for the service that she has given us, not because it's her final show.
Nice backpedal.
Thank you. And the number is 717-420-1978. I'm going to put that in the chat here. I want you to call in and say goodbye to Veronica. If you guys could cry or get her to cry, even better. That would be nice. Call in. Thank her for her service to us, to me, to you. This show, it would not be as entertaining as it is if it weren't for Veronica. You know that. I know that. But it's not enough if I say it. We want you to say it. Please call in. Tell her how much you love her. In the meantime, for the very last time, ladies, for the very last time.
You doing news or events first?
She's the gal who knows what's going on. So take notes. There's a test at the end. Here's AG Today's lead anchor, Veronica Brestensky, with news, traffic, weather, sidewalk conditions, and what's happening this weekend.
I must have all possible information.
All right. Ronnie Ronstadt, this is your final news. So go ahead and give us that wonderful news that you are so known to give us.
Nothing, man. We talked about this. I
know.
It's hard to compete with the 30th anniversary of the movie and everybody going nuts about it.
You know what? I know you don't think this is a news story, but everybody's talking about it. Everybody's talking.
But that's the only reason why it is a news story. People do crazy shit every day. That if it goes unnoticed or nobody gives them attention, it's not a thing.
But here's my question.
Says I'm the Prince of Abu Dhabi doesn't mean they're the Prince of Abu Dhabi. Like, unless
Are you sure?
I mean, like, if I'm saying I'm going to copyright something that I don't have just ignore them.
But
like,
wait,
you want to ignore anybody else that's
did
doing
this
crazy
start?
Stuff. Like, I don't understand.
How did we hear about this in the first place?
I saw it on social media before it was.
So, but like, she made a post, or
Yes.
She did. She made a post where?
She did on her Facebook page.
And someone took that and said,
Yes.
"Look at this crazy woman."
Definitely
What did they say?
the Gettysburg Crimes Facebook page. Somehow they got a hold of a screenshot of what she posted, the letter she apparently, or hers announcing that she sent a letter to the school district. They posted that on their Facebook page, and we're like, OMG, look at this crazy lady doing this thing. And then it sort of snowballed from there. The Times picked it up. It snowballed on social media. So that's where it started.
So the Times picked it up, and then and so they've been following. So there's you don't have the story, the new one?
That's not the newest one. There was actually one from.
This is the newest one here that she quit the planning board.
But there was one from Penn Live today where experts weighed in on the fact that she doesn't have steam.
She doesn't have anything.
Right. So that's what I'm saying. You guys are proving my point. Like, it's a nothing burger, and everybody's freaking
every time
out
somebody
about
says it's a nothing burger, it's actually a something burger. Okay.
Isn't it? It's somebody doing something they disagree with that they want to latch onto. If you just don't pay it any mind, I can guarantee you the school district probably was just going to, they get crazy letters all the time, right? You just don't address it.
Sure.
Or, I mean, what do you? I don't know.
I think it's the fact too that
I don't get the hubbub about it. I really don't.
I think it's because it's so insane.
She's doubling down on it. If she had let it slide and been like, my bad, and backed off, it would be one thing, but she hasn't.
Right. And that, I don't know her from a can of paint. I don't know. So I don't know if it's she's looking for publicity because she just happens to be running for something right now, or if she truly means well, or if she's
I think
totally
she thinks she means well.
Like she has a mental health issue, or I don't know anything about. I don't know. Well, I don't know. I don't. Some people.
Well, listen, here, so here's what the article says. Borough Council candidate who claims her business, Kirsten's Kids LLC, now owns the Gettysburg Warriors trademark, was allegedly warned in a letter by Gettysburg Area School District that she could face criminal violations. Kirsten M. Demps, who plans to run for a seat on Borough Council from the First Ward, said she faced online backlash from attempting to own the logo and charge a licensing fee for its continued use. Now, the online backlash, so she put it on her quote-unquote private Facebook, like her personal Facebook page, not her business's Facebook page. Do you know? Okay.
I think it was her personal one. But.
Okay. But again, those screenshots that people can take them and then it gets out. Demps, a 2010 graduate of Gettysburg Area High School, said the district sent a cease and desist letter to her Wednesday night indicating she could face criminal violations and can't continue trying to pursue the trademark. Quote, I just want to make it clear, nothing I am doing is criminal. My intentions are not criminal. That reminds me of when you go on YouTube, right? And I want to hear a song. I want to hear, I don't know, name a song. Black Dog by Led Zeppelin. I look it up on YouTube. There it is. And somebody in the comment, the person who posted it in the comment, not in the comments, in the description is like, no copyright infringement intended. I do not own this, right? That's not an inoculation. No. I didn't intend to. No, you violated the copyright by uploading it and playing it. That's a violation of the copyright. Anyway, okay. My intention is not criminal, Dem said. Everybody gets paid for the work they do. Why is it I'm not able to do the same? Nowhere.
She's almost implying that she has some right to the logo.
I think somewhere she calls it her intellectual property, and it's like, no,
right.
You didn't make that.
It was made after she graduated, and they named the person here who was a district employee, and it wasn't her.
Away or something. He was a teacher or a coach or something, supposedly.
I believe so.
But again, people say or try to do crazy things every day.
Sure.
If you don't pay it any attention,
but they don't get into the news, though.
Right, I understand, but that's what
why are you defending her?
Because I just think this is so people that
you
actually
agree with this, don't you?
No, I don't. I don't know the first thing about it because I don't know what her motivation is. I really don't. I don't get it.
Well, I don't either.
But people on my Facebook page that I think highly of are going crazy themselves about this is ridiculous. Lock her up. And I'm like, Jesus.
No.
And if this is the biggest problem that we have going on right now, I need
Things are pretty good in Gettysburg.
Yeah, I mean, like, I don't understand. Okay, put your 2 cents in. Say that you don't believe she has grounds to, do this, and move on if that's really what you feel. But I mean, people are like, calling. It's.
But it's weird though. Like you're saying, like she doubles down, and it also just stuff doesn't make sense because in here, she received a correspondence from the district, and it said this is Hassinger, who is the who? Who is he? He is the board president, school board president. He says the correspondence that Ms. Bell received was not threatening in nature. It simply outlined all the options the Gettysburg district would look to rectify or solve this matter. And then she responded, how is telling me that the district has contacted law enforcement agencies any means of a viable solution? A viable solution would be a sit down with me and having a meeting. Why? You have no legal grounds to stand on. You did not make this. They didn't hire you to do it. You didn't volunteer to do it and then suddenly decide, you know what? I want to get paid for that.
Yeah.
And until you do, that's my property. Nothing like that happened.
Yep.
You were a graduate of that school. But here's my favorite thing. This is my favorite. Here. I'm a warrior, she says. I'm a warrior, she said. There is no meaning Gettysburg warrior. There is no misappropriation. I want to make sure the district gets royalties from athletic apparel and printed materials with the logo. All that money should come back to the community, to these warrior children and families. That is exactly what I am trying to do. So I'm trying to be a middleman. Well, I don't understand that. Like, they can sell whatever the hell they want to with that logo and make all the money.
Coming back to them.
That's what I don't get.
Makes sense.
And this is where Veronica's right. Like, clearly, this is not sane. The thinking, like, there's nothing here, and it's very obvious that she has no ground to stand on. But still, it's so fascinating. Fascinated by this type of stuff. This is my favorite part of the whole article. Bell said she had been a warrior since 1992. As a fetus in her mother who walked across the stage to graduate from the district.
Does it really say that?
Yes, it does.
It really does.
It really does.
That is hysterical.
That's what it said. So this is what,
This is like Johnny Depp, Amber Heard in court.
Exactly.
Level of entertaining.
Yes.
Almost, yeah.
I wonder what Tim Smith
At least for a
thinks
small
about
town.
this. Cool. Yeah, exactly. As a community member, Demps claims she heard issues escalating in the district like drug use, truancy, and suicide. In an effort to combat it, she decided to add extortion to the list. Now, in an effort to combat it, Demps claimed she wanted the money coming from the fees to supplement the student assistance program using my business as a conduit.
I want the money coming to the PA lottery to subsidize my. That's what I'm saying. Like, you see what I'm saying?
It's
I can
insane.
just say I want anything, but if nobody's giving her the light of day, this wouldn't even be a thing. Like, people say all
it would
kinds
still
of
be a
things
thing
every day.
I think it's getting the light of day is because she is making it a thing. She actually filed papers with the state.
People
is that
file
fraud?
with the state every day. People literally file UCC claims against judges and get liens like put up against them because they found a loophole in like the UCC, the Uniform Commercial Code.
Okay.
I mean, but it's not newsworthy because it's like it doesn't go anywhere. The lien gets lifted because it's nonsense, and people go on with their lives. Like, people file things every day. Have you ever heard of a frivolous lawsuit?
Yeah, of course.
I'm not saying it's right, but it happens every day. If you don't give her the time of day,
and that's the thing.
It goes away.
People love frivolous lawsuits too.
Understand.
They love to talk because we love to be annoyed by people.
The same reason why people like to watch gladiators in Rome. We just like the conflict.
Yeah, I think it's like a freak show almost.
Right, you can't take your eyes away from it.
Yeah.
No, I'm with you, man.
Yeah, it's just it's crazy. So she goes, I just don't want to be a target when I'm doing exactly what needs to be done. It's just a mess for no reason. But who started the mess?
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. There's something more to it or something. Like, I'd like to see what she actually filed. I would like to see what her actual claim is, if it actually has any kind of merit. I mean, I don't know. But if the school board I don't even know why they're playing into this. Send her a letter saying thank you. We've received it. The attorneys will handle it. Period. Yeah. Like, you don't say like we're gonna get law enforcement. What? Okay, extortion. You don't. There actually has to be some kind of threat of theft. Like, you're not. I mean, like an actual like in exchange. Like, that's not.
What is it? A shakedown? Like, what would you call this? I know that's not a legal term, but
call it a publicity stunt.
Well, it's definitely that.
But what's a shakedown implies like like if she knew something like, I don't know, some scandal about the school board president. And
Well, I think it's like
she was going to release that information if you don't give me the royalties, or like something like that. Like,
here's what I think it is, and I don't know because she never gives her like side of the story here.
Right.
But my guess is she figured, okay, I'm going to trademark it, like it's a public domain thing, right? So I'm going to trademark it. And then the public is going to have to pay me to use it instead of just change it and, ignore you. And then I'm going to come up with this highfalutin reason why I want to do it, which only makes sense in my head. But then the rest of the world looks at it and goes, what the hell are you talking about? And I think that's what it is like.
Well, here's the devil's advocate argument of all this. If she filed paperwork and it was accepted, then people need to start looking at the actual process of
trademarking.
Yeah. Right? I mean, because there should be, and it's not people. President Trump was lauded for taking advantage of loopholes in the tax, and everybody thought he was a genius, right? So, like, people take loopholes all the time, but then you need to address them once they're brought to the light of day. If that was the case, and if the school board said, oh, crap, she was successful in getting this actually trademarked. Now, again, this is all hypothetical because I don't know. Then maybe that's a little bit different, but you can't attack the person for playing the game.
No, exactly.
You got to change the rules, right? So, but again, there's just a lot of unknowns in this, and that's why I'm saying, I don't know unless she had actually succeeded in whatever she filed, wherever she filed it. Why are you paying any attention to her?
Because it's fascinating. It's fascinating.
And it's only half the story. You don't even know. I don't understand what's even fascinating about it. Because she could have written in some hieroglyphics and filed some kind of piece of paper that's nonsense.
Right,
Is
but
that
that's
fascinating?
No.
Okay, but we don't know that she didn't, right? Like, it could be nonsense. It could be mumbo jumbo nonsense.
Yeah, but the story is that she claims that she has a right to own and then charge a licensing fee for the logo of the school district, which was made with taxpayer dollars, which means, from what I understand, the public owns it. You can't trademark you can't trademark the Park Services logo or the License Guide logo.
Okay.
That's why they're going through that whole thing with the Park Service, right?
Right.
Because you can't trademark it. So the government owns it. Okay. So if that's the case, then if she's in the right, then we can all turn around and we can find any publicly funded logo we like and start trademarking it and then charging.
It doesn't seem right.
It's not extortion, but it's what is that called? It's like she found a loophole and then she's going to use it to like bilk money. It's just shitty. It's like a shady thing to do.
And again, that's another if. If she was successful in her filing. So there's a lot of we don't knows about, there's just unknowns about what's going on. And that, again, it reinforces why I'm saying this is not, I can't even believe we've wasted 10 minutes of our lives sitting here talking about it.
I've wasted more than 10 minutes.
For me, what is frustrating is watching this all unfold and knowing it's essentially she's laying claim to something that doesn't belong to her.
Right.
And that's what's, to me, I'm like, and the fact that she doesn't seem to understand that.
That's the thing. Her quotes,
and that may
it's
be
like,
why everyone is so up in arms that she just doesn't get that this is not something
we're all saying, how do you not get this?
To you.
Yes.
That, I think, is what the big issue is.
I think, for me, that's what it is I'm like, how do you not understand this? And why are you doubling down on it? And why are you acting like everybody else is in the wrong and you're the victim here? I don't know. It's weird.
Live this weekend where the action is.
What's there to do and see when you're in town this weekend? Here's Valerie, Veronica, to fill you in.
It's all covered.
I think
I've never heard of that.
I think we should just leave it there. Of course, Ronnie's last segment is a fight with Matt. I think that'd be the perfect way to just mic drop and walk out of here. Yeah, I really would, actually. That's great. I like that, Matt.
Matt says, invite her on, get the 411, or take her on a morning drive. No, thank you. No, thank you. Casey Turbin, can't wait to turn on the Chiefs game tonight and try to ponder where anyone thought to put letters inside of an arrowhead for the logo. Nothing but getting her name in the papers. That's right. She's the Jeb Stewart of Gettysburg. Chris Whitmore says, congratulations, Veronica. Sorry to see you go. Thank you for all of your time and energy. Absolutely. Veronica, good job. Good luck to you in your future. From Larry Franks, of course. Okay, so what do we got going on this weekend? A lot of movie stuff.
Yeah, pretty much. What else is there?
That's it. All right, ladies and gentlemen.
The anniversary of John Brown's raid. So that's where Mom and I will be in Harper's Ferry. Ferry.
In Harper's Ferry.
Technically, it was like the 15th and 16th.
What is it? I didn't hear the first. Was it a reenactment?
It's the anniversary.
Anniversary.
It's a weekend that they celebrate the anniversary because it's closest to the.
Do they ever do a reenactment of that?
Apparently they do. They have reenactors that portray at least the U.S. Marines that responded.
Oh, that's cool.
And apparently there's some other like living historian stuff down there. So apparently it was a big deal before COVID. And I was down there last week for a different event, and the young lady with the Park Association, not the Park Service, but the park, like the equivalent of their friend.
Their foundation, or friends. Okay,
right, or
gotcha.
whatever, was kind of saying that it's starting to build back up again. They're happy about it, but they're excited. They're expecting quite a few reenactors. And then they do like living history, and they talk about like the different, civilian accounts, and then obviously members of the raid. So I'm kind of fascinated. I love Harper's Ferry.
Yeah, I do too.
I know this is blasphemy.
You hate Gettysburg?
I don't hate it. No, I
think she likes Harper's Ferry
a little bit better. Like I really do.
It's like you got the rivers. It's gorgeous.
And there's so much history. It's not just Civil War. It's not there's so much history.
We got so much here too.
Yeah, you're right.
No, it's different though.
It's different.
It's my second favorite place to Gettysburg.
Yeah.
See, I'm gonna be even more obscene and say my first favorite is Antietam.
Your first favorite?
Yeah. Second favorite.
Antietam.
You're like an IPA drinker.
Gettysburg is
just like being
special,
different.
so it's hard to say which one takes the cake. But I would say like going to visit. I guess because I don't live there, Harper's Ferry would be second because it's special. I don't see it every day like I do see this every day.
Yeah. Let's see. We got okay. So and then there's also the movie stuff, right?
All kinds of movie stuff.
Yeah.
We were kind of talking on the break. A lot of the events, unfortunately, require tickets, and a lot of those have been sold out since pretty much they announced them. Other ones more recently. But there are some opportunities if you're in town to see some of the actors and things like that at free events.
Most importantly,
now, I'm assuming there's going to be a long line at most of them.
Most importantly, at 9 a.m. on Saturday at the Adams County Historical Society, myself, Joseph Fuqua, and Bo Brinkman. And it's really interesting because we can't talk about the movie.
I thought I saw something about the strike was over.
Oh, are you serious?
No, they stopped. It's over because negotiations fell apart. They weren't making any headway, so the strike is still going on.
So all right,
but I thought negotiations.
But I thought they had signed. Like I thought I saw.
Yeah, they said they signed an FU letter.
I thought the writers did, but
the writers I think
actors,
was over.
Where did I see that
strike?
Okay, so anyway.
Anyway, yeah.
8 hours ago, the negotiations have broken down. So
great. God damn it.
Yeah.
All right, so we can't even talk about the movie. So I have a statement that I have to read when I got up there that says, I don't remember. It's a big thing.
Wow.
Very verbose, and we can't talk about them. So, but that doesn't mean it's up to the actors if they want to put themselves in hot water or whatever. And of course, people are going to want to ask questions about the movie. It's so stupid
because that's previous work. It's not like it's promoting something that's in theaters now. Or
they're all saying it.
I don't understand.
So tomorrow I'm doing a live stream sometime in the mid-afternoon area with Jonathan Rothman, who played General Reynolds, and he's like, I can't talk about the movie, but I can talk about my career. And I go, well, what's the freaking difference? Because we're going to talk about movies in your career, but who cares? And he goes, well, we'll do whatever, and then when the strike is over, I'll come back on and we'll talk about the movie. And I was like, thank you for saying that. It's very nice, yes. So point is, though, I don't know what we're gonna do, but folks, you might be a little disappointed if you really want to talk movie stuff. But also, when the thing is over, if you got a meet and greet chance, I don't know if there is. I think we're gonna try to get you out so that the next thing can come in. So it's not gonna be all like hanging around and talking and signing autographs. But I think you go somewhere else for that. I don't know. Go look at the schedule. But that's where you ask them these things.
Are there tickets left to your event?
I don't know. It doesn't say if there are tickets available. I don't know. You'd have to look. But the schedule is on Adams County Historical Society's website, and I hope to see you there. I know some people said they already got tickets for it, and that would be nice to see some of your smiling faces there. It should be interesting. I don't know what we're going to do. And then, but that's that schedule there at the ACHS's site. They've got everything that's going on all over town. It's so you don't have to go searching all over the place. Everything is right there. Dobbin House, Visitor Center, Seminary.
Tickets are available for your event. I don't.
You son of a bitch.
I did not. I did not click on all of the different events, but the Adams County Historical Society does have from the 9 o'clock on Saturday event with Matt. If you're a member, it's $20. General admission is $30.
So, there you go. Yeah. So become a member, and then whatever.
Yeah.
And then
Patrick Gorman.
What about him? No, he's not on mine.
It says panelists and it says subject to change, but there's this says 9 to 11:30. Join us for 2 back-to-back discussions. So, are they?
I'm only doing. Yeah. I don't know who's
so your
doing
ticket,
Patrick.
Okay, so your ticket gets you more than just Matt's event. So it's Bo, Joseph, Patrick, James Lancaster, and James Patrick Stewart.
That is.
That's the second panel, I guess, right after.
He played Alexander, James Patrick Stewart. Yes. All right, let's go to some calls with some well-wishers here. I think we've got Grant on the line. Hello, Grant. You are on the air.
Hey, Matt. How's it going?
Good. How are you? Is this Australia, Grant?
Yes, it is.
Oh, good day, mate. Let's throw another shrimp on the barbie.
Foster's, it's what's for beer.
Foster's, it's Australian for beer.
Yeah.
What's for dinner?
Dingo baby.
Holding Outback menu stuff.
Bloomin' onion, mate. I can't do an Australian accent. Hey, Grant, welcome aboard. How are you?
That's obvious. I'm very well, thank you. I just thought I'd call in to talk about, just say to Veronica how she'll be missed, and she was an important part of the show.
I agree. You're absolutely right. She will be missed, and she was an important part of the show.
And your accent made her blush.
Yeah.
No one could put Matt in his place like Veronica. So that was always
story.
Good to see.
That's true. That's why I asked her to come and do it.
It was a few years of practice, yeah. Calling him out on his BS.
And she's very good too when I purposely BS, and she can call it she can call it when I'm trying to get away with something, but she can also call it when I'm doing it on purpose to see if she can detect it. And so she's a good bullshit detector. That's why she's an attorney. Say what?
Of course it's on purpose.
Yes, of course. Right. Well, so now what part of Australia are you from?
Near the Gold Coast, which is on the East Coast, sort of middle of the East Coast.
Okay.
Have you had anything try to kill you tonight, like a bug or insect or
snakes?
Snake.
That's kind of a myth because most Australians, unless you go out to the outback, don't actually see the snakes or the insects. So that's like an American myth for Australia.
Well, listen, I'm glad you enlightened me because I believed it up to this point. I thought everywhere you walked in Australia was like a
death trap.
Zone.
Yeah, I did too. In Arizona.
Like Melbourne and everything. I mean, there's big.
I know. They've chased all the scary things
I was
away.
pretty sure they had flying tarantulas in Melbourne. Just anything you could think of.
It's just all the most
horrifying.
Go ahead, Graham.
I've learned over the years that you can tell an American just about anything about Australia and they'll believe it. So
it's true.
That is true.
You could tell an American just about anything and they'll believe it.
Exactly.
Hey, Grant, so how is it that you call? Because we have a guy over in England, who wants to call in, but he's afraid of the long distance charge. How were you able to call in here?
I get a certain amount of international talk time with my phone, so
nice.
It works, cool. But there's a bit. Obviously, there's a few second delay. That's all.
Yeah. Well, I appreciate you wasting that on us.
Yeah.
Oh, huge waste, I know, but it was worth it.
Chattanooga.
Well, Grant,
Bonfire.
Bonfire.
Nice.
Good.
Kathy.
I love it.
Yeah, hypothesis.
What's your favorite Cam quote? Is it bonfire?
Oh, that's a good one. Probably not so much. It was when he he called Veronica Victoria and called 6 questions.
Melvin
called 6 questions Lance on the same episode.
Lance. That's right. He did. He called him Lance. That's right. Great. I totally forgot about that.
He's awesome.
He is awesome.
I have a hard Thomas' name sometime.
One of the best Cam episodes you've ever had, and I was so lucky to be there for it, was him trying to tell us about driving through different
time zones.
That
Yeah.
will forever be one of the funniest things I've ever been witness to.
My favorite little shtick with him is when his buddy came in and translated for him.
Oh,
I
yeah.
thought
That was the Alderson Broderson episode.
Yeah.
That was the Alderson Broderson episode.
Alderson Broderson.
And that was when you said this.
Zabawa?
So, Grant, how long have you been listening to the show?
Since probably early last year sometime.
So you went back then to know these episodes that we're talking about then, right?
Yeah, I think I've gone through all the Asker guides and all that sort of thing. And, so I have a good memory because all I do is listen to podcasts. So I have a good memory for all the funny stuff that happens.
What do you do for a living?
Work for a company that does AV and video and fireworks
nice.
for weddings and corporate
very
functions and stuff.
Good for you. I used to do that. But weddings.
I know.
Yeah. I guess you would.
He knows, man.
Because he listens to the show.
This is just an education guess.
I haven't heard that one yet. That was good.
All right. Well, what else there? I don't want. It's very rare that we get somebody from all the way over in Australia. So I don't want to brush you off real quick.
Quite literally, the other side of the world.
Yeah.
No.
Is it true about water going down the drain the opposite way down there?
Oh, here we go. I haven't. I think that's another myth from like The Simpsons or something.
Yeah, I don't know if I heard it on The Simpsons. But I don't know. And do you guys do you fall off? Like, are you afraid of falling off the planet sometimes? Because they're at the bottom.
Oh, Jesus.
No, of course I know that's not how it works.
I'll leave you guys to it. Because there might be someone else want to call in.
There
and
is.
wish Veronica a bon voyage.
No, there's a couple of others.
So I'll be probably there sometime next year to insult you guys in person. So.
Oh, I love it, Grant. Thank you. Can't wait to be insulted to my face with an Australian accent. Always wanted that.
You gotta make Matt go beer for beer with you.
Yeah. Oh, I'll go Fulsters for Fulsters with you.
Hey, Grant.
No way a Marine can handle me. I'll drink him under the table.
I wasn't even volunteering myself,
yo.
but all right, dude, I'm down. I'm down.
It's on now.
I love a little
that's cheating though, because he knows Colby can't handle his drugs. So how much can he handle his beer? I mean, come on, that's like a low-hanging fruit, Grant.
Surprisingly, so much better than I did the other day with that pen. The alcohol, I don't know. I can hang on that.
Oh, that's funny. All right. Well, listen.
Hey, Grant, a heartfelt Otterspin Broderson across the miles. Thank you so much for calling in. That was so sweet.
Yes. Thank you very much.
No worries, Vicky. Have a good time.
I like Grant. He's funny.
I love it. Thank you.
All right. Andrew,
by the way,
call back.
It confirmed as a myth. The water does not go the other way down the drain.
Thank
Just
you,
in case anybody was curious.
I'm sure there are people who are curious about that. I only learned that last year. Let's see, 970. You're on the air.
They call them flush curious.
Hey, this is 6 questions.
Oh, hey, Mikey, how you doing? Lance.
Hey.
What's going on, Lance?
Well, Veronica, I'd like to say, it was real fun having you on the show. Who's going to randomly sing into the microphone now? Who's going to say who's up for going to food afterwards? Who is Matt not going to listen to now?
Right,
exactly. Who do I ignore now?
Exactly. So, I mean...
Yeah. Someone else mentioned that your name will live on in annals of misheard lyrics.
I love it. I love that.
It's the annals.
And
those kids.
Oh, man.
And so
food?
That's a good one.
Go ahead, Mike. Go ahead.
while you're leaving a vacancy here on the show, I'm really happy for you. I think this is a really cool step in your career.
It is.
I just hope never to see you in a professional capacity. So.
I'm sure no worries there, man. Put that on a T-shirt. Holy hell. That was some of my better work right there.
Oh, God.
So, yeah.
I'm sorry I missed you the other day, man. I'm hoping you're doing well.
I'm doing well. I'm doing well. And, yeah, it's all going well. So, again, bon voyage, and thank you for being on the show. And don't make yourself a stranger, okay? Come around every once in a while.
Yeah.
Right?
Every once in a while.
Every once in a while.
But only just every once in a while.
Yeah, exactly.
Otterspin Broderson, Mike.
Yeah, this is right.
Oh, my God.
Thank you, Mike. Thank you for the call.
Have a good night.
Chick-fil-A corporate is very protective of their taste profile, and you're going diarrhea.
All right, let's see here. There's one person. Where was it? Andrew. Where'd he go? Oh, it looks like Andrew hung up. Oh, well. And he didn't call back yet. Well, I'll give him another minute. So that's it, ladies and gentlemen. Veronica, her last show is today. Now, of course, does this mean she'll never be back for something? I'm sure you'll come back for something. I don't know what.
That's what she said is still on there.
That's true. That's what she said is still there. And then also...
shine the light on some chick's history, right?
There you go. There you go. And what was the other thing? Are you going to be available to come to the Christmas party, or are you December 9th? Yeah. Okay. P. Carmichael will be in Europe. So
Well, I didn't get invited to go to Europe. So
Wait, I thought it
Christmas
was
party will be a
South
second.
America. I thought Europe was the other trip.
No. November, South
He
America.
had like 3 trips lined up ready to go for you.
Yeah, every time we have something going on, he's in another continent.
Estella says, I'd love to call in, but I'm in tears. Glenn and I wish you all the best, Veronica.
That's why we
love
want
you
you
and
to
we'll miss you.
call. Thank you, Estella.
Call and cry, Estella. God damn it. Nobody gets it.
Yeah, no, thank you so much. I received some really nice messages on Facebook after last show from Mike Pellegrini and Cindy Jones and all kinds. I'm horrible at this. I should learn from my mistakes already and make a list. But
and check it twice.
Yeah, but thank you, everybody. This has been a lot of fun. And
Well, you know, Veronica, as you know, of course, there's always a spot for you here. If you ever just want to come back for a day, hang out, you know.
just kick in the door like Cam does.
Exactly.
Yeah,
Yeah, if you're on your way home from work, because you get out at 5 now, right?
Well, yeah, I mean, yeah.
In theory,
yeah.
So you get out at 5, you're driving home, you're listening to the show, something's going on that makes you think, and you're like, oh, I got some time. You call Kath, you're like, Kath, plug your nose, I'll be home in a while. And then you bust in like Cam does and stop in, like Dean Martin used to do on the Tonight Show. And
How does he can't just do that like he used to do at the shed, though. You have to be buzzed into this building, so it's not like a surprise anymore.
Yeah, no, they buzz
Except for the fact that we can't see who's pushing the buzzer.
Right.
So
yeah, I didn't splurge on a ring. I
Yeah.
just got a regular old doorbell.
Yep.
I gotcha.
So until we get down the stairs, we have no clue who it is.
Yeah. And that's the scary part.
I'm gonna really miss you being here.
Yeah,
Thanks,
me
sis.
too.
Thanks.
You were one of my first Gettysburg friends.
Yeah.
So and it's largely a result of being on the show. So
cool. Thank you. Appreciate that.
Keep going.
If I keep going too much, I'm gonna start crying, and
It's okay.
nobody needs to see that.
It's okay. We like real moments here. Go ahead. But
Yeah, hypothesis.
all right. Well, listen.
Yeah,
I
hypothesis.
have something that. Wait, I'm trying to stop this here.
We're going.
Well, we are going to go, and we're going to go to this moving tribute. Now, Colby, if you go to the pictures thing when the music starts, wait for the music to start. Go to the pictures tab there and just let it do its thing until the show is over. So there's no normal closing theme here, folks. Let me find out where the hell I put it. All right, so that's it. We're going to go. We'll see you guys next week. Bethany will be in as the new Ronnie Ronstadt. But that's what she said. You're still on That's What She Said. Episode came out yesterday.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
All right.
Check it out.
So prepare, get the Kleenex ready, ladies and gentlemen, because this will make you This will make you cry. Here we go.
Notification addressing Gettysburg's live, and it's all you good old boys at the railroad cut, like having a grand old time, and I'm standing there like,
bullshit.
You knew I was in town. You were supposed to go to the seminary, and even if you weren't going to the seminary, you never even thought to say, hey, plans changed, the group is...
How do I say goodbye to what we had? The good times that made us laugh outweigh the bad.
Speak for yourself.
Oh, there's a swamp dragon.
Get to see forever.
That's interesting.
But forever's gone away.
Hey, now wait a minute.
It's so hard to say goodbye to yesterday.
You doing news or events first?
I don't know where the road is going to lead. All I know is where we've been and what we've been through. Empty kazoos. If we get to see tomorrow, I hope it's worth all the wait. It's so hard to say goodbye to yesterday.
Oh my God, they're taking this out. It's so unnatural to this.
And I'll take with me the memories to be my sunshine after the rain. It's so hard to say goodbye to yesterday.
Broderman. Duh.
And I'll take with me the memories to be my sunshine after the rain.
That's awesome.
It's so hard to say goodbye to yesterday. One for me and one for my Ronnie. That's all it is. There you go.